Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
A short note recognizing a source of information or of a quoted passage. A passage or expression that is quoted or cited. A statement of the current market price of a security or commodity. The practice of quoting from books or plays, etc. Since he lacks originality, he must rely on quotation. A short note recognizing a source of information or of a quoted passage. The acknowledgments are usually printed at the front of a book. A statement acknowledging something or someone. She must have seen him, but she gave no sign of acknowledgment. The state or quality of being recognized or acknowledged. A short note recognizing a source of information or of a quoted passage. The student's essay failed to list several important citations. A passage or expression that is quoted or cited. An official award, as for bravery or service, usually given as formal public statement. A summons that commands the appearance of a party at a proceeding. Law, the act of citing, as of spoken words or written passages or legal precedents, etc. Thoroughbred that won the Triple Crown in 1948. Refer to for illustration or proof. A short note recognizing a source of information or of a quoted passage. Advance evidence for. Repeat a passage from. Call in an official matter, such as to attend court. Refer to. Make reference to. Commend. He was cited for his outstanding achievements. A short note recognizing a source of information or of a quoted passage. Ascribe an achievement to. She was not properly credited in the program. An accounting entry acknowledging income or capital items. An estimate, based on previous dealings, of a person's or an organization's ability to fulfill their financial commitments. Approval. He was given credit for his work. Arrangement for deferred payment for goods and services. Recognition by a college or university that a course of studies has been successfully completed, typically measured in semester hours. Accounting. Enter as credit. We credit your account with $100. An entry on a list of persons who contributed to a film or written work. The credits were given at the end of the film. Give someone credit for something. We credited her for saving our jobs. Have trust in. Trust in the truth or veracity of. Money available for a client to borrow. Used in the phrase, to your credit, in order to indicate an achievement deserving praise. She already had several performances to her credit. A short note recognizing a source of information or of a quoted passage. The article includes mention of similar clinical cases. An official recognition of merit. Although he didn't win the prize, he did get special mention. A remark that calls attention to something or someone. She made frequent mention of her promotion. Make mention of. Make reference to. His name was mentioned in connection with the invention. Commend. A formal recommendation by a former employer to a potential future employer describing the person's qualifications and dependability. Requests for character references are all too often answered evasively. A publication, or a passage from a publication, that is referred to. He carried an armful of references back to his desk. The act of referring or consulting. Reference to an encyclopedia produced the answer. A short note recognizing a source of information or of a quoted passage. The most direct or specific meaning of a word or expression. The class of objects that an expression refers to. A remark that calls attention to something or someone. The speaker made several references to his wife. Computer science. The code that identifies where a piece of information is stored. A book to which you can refer for authoritative facts. He contributed articles to the basic reference work on that topic. Refer to. He referenced his colleague's work. An indicator that orients you generally. It is used as a reference for comparing the heating and the electrical energy involved. The relation between a word or phrase and the object or idea it refers to. He argued that reference is a consequence of conditioned reflexes. Refer to for illustration or proof. He said he could quote several instances of this behavior. A passage or expression that is quoted or cited. A punctuation mark used to attribute the enclosed text to someone else. Repeat a passage from. He quoted the Bible to her. Name the price of. Quote prices for cars. Put quote marks around. The act of adding notes. A comment or instruction, usually added. A technical system of symbols used to represent special things. A comment or instruction, usually added. He added a short notation to the address on the envelope. The activity of representing something by a special system of marks or characters. A piece of paper money, especially one issued by a central bank. He peeled off 5 1,000 zloty notes. A notation representing the pitch and duration of a musical sound. The singer held the note too long. A short personal letter. A promise to pay a specified amount on demand or at a certain time. I had to co-sign his note at the bank. Make mention of. They noted that it was a fine day to go sailing. Observe with care or pay close attention to. Take note of this chemical reaction. High status importance owing to marked superiority. Make a written note of. She noted everything the teacher said that morning. A comment or instruction, usually added. His notes were appended at the end of the article. Notice or perceive. She noted that someone was following her. A brief written record. He made a note of the appointment. A characteristic emotional quality. It ended on a sour note. A tone of voice that shows what the speaker is feeling. There was a note of uncertainty in his voice. Take out of a literary work in order to cite or copy. A passage selected from a larger work. He presented excerpts from William James's philosophical writings. A passage selected from a larger work. Obtain from a substance, as by mechanical action. Take out of a literary work in order to cite or copy. A passage selected from a larger work. A solution obtained by steeping or soaking a substance, usually in water. Remove, usually with some force or effort, also used in an abstract sense. Extract a bad tooth. Deduce, a principle, or construe, a meaning. Extract by the process of distillation. Calculate the root of a number. Get despite difficulties or obstacles. I extracted a promise from the dean for 2 new positions. Separate, a metal, from an ore. The person or thing chosen or selected. A natural process resulting in the evolution of organisms best adapted to the environment. A passage selected from a larger work. The act of choosing or selecting. An assortment of things from which a choice can be made. The store carried a large selection of shoes. Computer science. A line of code written as part of a computer program. A fact or assertion offered as evidence that something is true. A document showing credits and debits. The act of affirming or asserting or stating something. A message that is stated or declared. A communication, oral or written, setting forth particulars or facts, etc. According to his statement, he was in London on that day. A nonverbal message. A Cadillac makes a statement about who you are. Music, the presentation of a musical theme. The initial statement of the sonata. A customary way of operation or behavior. They changed their dietary pattern. A perceptual structure. A visual pattern must include not only objects but the spaces between them. Something intended as a guide for making something else. A pattern for a skirt. A decorative or artistic work. The path that is prescribed for an airplane that is preparing to land at an airport. The traffic patterns around O'Hare are very crowded. Something regarded as a normative example. Graphical representation, in polar or Cartesian coordinates, of the spatial distribution of radiation from an antenna as a function of angle. Plan or create according to a model or models. A model considered worthy of imitation. The American Constitution has provided a pattern for many republics. Form a pattern. These sentences pattern like the ones we studied before. Translating an idea into action. A hard theory to put into practice. A customary way of operation or behavior. It is their practice to give annual raises. Avail oneself to. Practice a religion. Systematic training by multiple repetitions. Practice makes perfect. Learn by repetition. Pianists practice scales. Engage in a rehearsal, of. Engage in or perform. Practice safe sex. Carry out or practice, as of jobs and professions. Practice law. Knowledge of how something is usually done. It is not the local practice to wear shorts to dinner. The exercise of a profession. The practice of the law. A note acknowledging the source of a published photograph. A reference at one place in a work to information at another place in the same work. A reference at one place in a work to information at another place in the same work. Make an index that refers from one point to the next. These references are cross-indexed. Any disease that shows symptoms characteristic of another disease. The imitative representation of nature and human behavior in art and literature. The representation of another person's words in a speech. An incorrect quotation. Quote incorrectly. He had misquoted the politician. An engraved inscription. A quotation at the beginning of some piece of writing. An incorrect quotation.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.